Okay. Peace, 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 and power, family. How's everybody doing? Ashe, ashe, ashe. Welcome to the Temple of New African Thought, TNAT Holistic Wellness Center. We thank you for coming out, joining us. Those online, we say peace and blessings, peace and power, and Manina Nguvu, which means peace and power in Swahili. I am Dr. Dennis Asar Winkler, founder of Temple of New African Thought, TNAT Holistic Wellness Center, aka minister, and all these other things, right? So we are pleased to have you join us today. Those in the room and those outside of the room. I say for those outside of in the room and outside of the room, I realize sometimes we struggle to do both really well. I've been in places, and I don't know, I'm just going off a little bit, but it's kind of like, have y'all been into a place and then they invited you to the space, but most of the attention is on the social media, or the people on social media get left out. So for those on social media, you do have the option to join in and come in and actually speak if you would like. We have a link in the chat, as Sister Queen says, where you can come in, and she says, what did she say? Jump in the chat and don't hold back. You know, and so we're streamed on my personal page, Dr. Dennis Asar Winkler, on YouTube, and also on Black Box Radio, where we stream through Sister Queen and Black Box Radio. Go there and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you're on Black Box Radio, come over to Dr. Dennis Asar Winkler and subscribe. And if you're in this room and you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that as well. So again, welcome. What I'll do, you're looking at me, Mama. You got something you want? Okay, yeah. I noticed we're limited on mics today. What happened to the other single mic? It's a single. Oh, it is up front. Yeah. So, that mic there is we have one mic to pass around today. Seems like. So that means everybody's going to practice some discipline. And if you don't mind, Mama, would you want me to turn it over to you?
Certainly.
Okay.
Welcome, Akwaba, which is welcome in Tree, which is spoken in Ghana. And I looked around and I saw that we have 8 brothers, 8 Babas in the house, and 8 represents infinity. And as we approach August the 8th with many different things, with Series B making itself visible in the sky, just some very powerful things are happening. I give thanks and praise for the men who are present here today. I'm going to do a brief libation, and I want to ask the elder of the group, may I begin, Baba Albert? All right. Just want to get permissions, that's all. And I also want to welcome the viewing audience as well. So at this time, we are going to honor our ancestors. And without them and the cycle of life, the living, the deceased, and those that are yet unborn, we acknowledge. I want to pour libation for those who perished in the middle passage. Ashe.
Ashe.
I want to pour libation for those who lost their lives at the hands of kidnappers, terrorists, and enslavers. We won't forget you. Ashe.
Ashe.
We want to honor those and pour libation for those whose lives ended during slavery, during Jim Crow, during the Civil Rights Movement, and current freedom fighters. Ashe.
Ashe.
At this time, if there are some community ancestors as well as family ancestors, we ask you to call their names now.
Wesley White,
Ashe.
Ashe.
Leonard White,
Ashe.
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 Robbie White,
Ashe. Ashe.
Franklin White,
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.
Pauline Weaver Johnson.
Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe.
Grandma Fur,
Ashe.
Rotha Johnson.
Ashe. Ashe. Thank King. Eddie Burris. Ashe. Yes. The Hammonds, the Beatties, the Jacksons. Ashe. Ashe. And all community ancestors who guide us, who direct us, and who are fighting for us in the spirit realm. We thank you. Ashe.
Ashe.
Okay, I'm going to share a little song with y'all. And this is for all of us to sing. So I'm going to sing it by myself first so you can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is group participation, so we're not spectating, okay?
yes ma'am.
The African in me loves the African in you, and we work together for our highest good. So easy. So easy. One more time, so easy. So easy. So easy love. Let's try that again, okay? And 1, 2. The African in me loves the African in you. And we work together. We work together for our highest good. For our highest good. So easy. So easy. One more time, yeah. So easy. Yeah. So easy to love. Now let's do the power in me. The power in me loves the power in you. We work together for our highest good. So easy. So easy. Y'all sound good. All right now. So easy. So easy to love. One more time. The intellect in me. The intellect in me loves the intellect in you. And we work together for our highest good. So easy. So easy. So easy. So easy to love. brother.
Ashe. Is that back to me? Ashe. Thank you, Mama Faluke, for the gift. You know, when our minds come together, you know, we look, family. We in the room and out of the room, it's a certain level of harmony because we were called here early today by Colonel Fur, and we.
Look, I take that with pride.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. You know, so with my levity, again, as I say, my jokes are typically serious. so with my levitatiousness, not levitatedness, but there's seriousness in it, and that yeah. So you know, I'm not sweating as hard today. You know, I'm not walking around scratching my head and all that type of thing, trying to figure things out. So the harmony in me loves the harmony in you, right? The collectiveness in me love the collectiveness in you. And when we all come together, now Mama threw a new line in there, so I'm kind of trying to get that rhythm right. I like it. For the highest good, because we sung it when we come together. How did it go? The African in me loves the African in you. When we come together, there's nothing we can't do. So easy. So easy. You're easy to love. So yeah. No, we did that in real time though earlier today. She came up with that like, yeah.
You did good. I think you did good.
Your as my son say, you remembered. Whatever tool you use. See, we created writing. See, my levitatiousness is some seriousness in it, right? So what we'll do, Baba, do you have something or anybody have anything that they want to offer up today? Well, you know what, Brother Fur, you hold up. We just did this, Baba. You got something that Brother Fur, I'm certain you got something. So you want this? Okay.
All right. Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Great.
Okay. So they say laughter is energy, right? It's light,
Yes.
and it's good for the body. So we in Qigong, we have a exercise that we do is laughter. All right. Yeah. Okay. So we start off with the laughing, like, come on, y'all gotta help me. Come on, you can do better than All right, one more long one. Oh, Lord. Now that's real laughter. All right, a good breath in, deep breath in, deep breathe in. Hands up. And breathe out, letting out all negativity. Breathing out your mouth. Deep breath in, scoop the energy up from the earth, human stage, up to the sky level, grab the energy from the sky. Bring it down, let all negativity out through the mouth. One more time. Breathe in. Gather the energy from the heavens. Bring it down, push out. Now, anybody in here have, like, you want to wake up in the morning? I think we did it last week, but it's a good exercise. Get on the end of your chair if you can. If you can't, it's okay. It's awakening the spot of awakening the spine. You know, since we're sitting down a little bit, we want to get a little energy in the spine and everything, right? So grab the leash of the horse. You got it? All right. You got a leash there. Grab it. And ready? Let's ride. There you go. Make sure that tailbone or the coccyx is hitting the chin. That's sending energy up supposedly through the. All right, you got a gallop going on there. Yes, Lord. I like you. All right, deep breath in. We put laughter along with that. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And one last great energy that we can have is put your arms around yourself and hug yourself. And I always say, until you learn how to love yourself, you cannot love others. Ashe?
Ashe.
All right.
Us. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Baba. What is it? Okay, as long as they ain't gonna mess with my allergies. Okay. We had to vacate the room. Okay.
That door right there.
Okay. So look, I was holding my breath like I hope that's essential oil. And it's not. There's ones that mess with me, but that one smells good. Yeah. Okay. All right. So anybody. So during this part of our fellowship, we ask anybody who has something to say verbally, if it's a testimony, if it's a story, if it's a poem, if it's a song, if it's dance, if it's whatever way you feel to express yourself, if it's a lesson learned, whatever it is, this is the time to bring that forward, and it's community expression. We used to call it edutainment. Shit. You ready for her? Okay.
I am. It could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. Loving you is a battle, but we both end up with scars. Tell me who I have to be to get some reciprocity. See, no one loves you more than me, and no one ever will. No matter how I think we grow, you always seem to let me know it ain't working. It ain't working. And when I try to walk away, you hurt yourself in an instant. This is crazy. This is crazy. I keep letting you back in. How could I explain myself? As crazy as this thing has been, I just can't be with no one else. See, I know what we've got to do. You let go, and I'll let go too. 'Cause no one's hurt me more than you, and no one ever will. No matter how I think we grow, you always seem to let me know it ain't working. It ain't working. And when I try to walk away, you hurt yourself and make me stay. This is crazy. This is crazy. Care for me. I know you care for me, there for me, there for me. I say you're there for me, cry for me, cry for me. I say you cry for me, give to me, give to me. Why won't you live for me, care for me, care for me. I say you care for me, there for me, there for me. I say you care for me, cry for me, cry for me. I said you die for me, give to me, give to me. Why won't you live for me, care? Yeah, cry, yeah.
Thank you.
Ashe. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh man, I told y'all we're gonna come early. the juices just be flowing, right? Yeah. The harmony. Is there anyone else who would like to share?
How y'all doing? How everybody out there doing?
Peace, brother Eric.
I just want to say thank you for inviting me to this place. This is my first in Jizz Circle and first of many more. So I just wanted to share a thought. I don't know the exact quote, but it was saying that basically if a man doesn't know his history, he'll have trouble navigating his journey of life. So I appreciate TNAT for providing for space and culture to learn about myself and my history. So thank you, Reverend Saul. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, everybody. That's all I want to say.
Ashe. So one of the things we have is our rite of passage going on, and we are in our summer orientation phase, and mostly everybody in here, but I want to say over 75, at least 70%, 67% of the people in the room are initiates in the rite. So, and I think that is a beautiful thing, and also it adds to the some of the harmony that we speak to as well. So yeah, in August, I think on the late part of August, we're going to have a special type of opening of the way to the official start of the rite. So if anybody's interested in going through it, you can always catch up with the orientation and start in the fall as well. But this is for people who, at this moment, is for people who plan to do work within and without, but both, and the Temple of New African Thought, or TNAT Holistic Wellness Center. So it's going to be a powerful journey. I'm excited. It's going to be a hard work, but as I was speaking to Mama Faluke earlier, she was speaking to the importance of us being prepared to deal with a lot of the mental anguish that we see. Whatever you call it, you can call it spiritual warfare, you can call it psychological trauma, you can call it whatever you call it, it's all right. But we know, or cultural racism, disorientation, whatever you choose to call it, we know it's a thing. We know the thing is going on. As Brother Los was speaking about, we hear that, and I didn't even get to see it, but this thing going on with the Essence Music Festival and the FBLA and the ADOS, and our people are losing their minds. We've been losing it for a long time, but I'm saying really, when it comes to, it's interesting because lots of people who once walked this walk, particularly this African Senate walk, is being pulled into this all or nothing mindset And I understand why, to a degree, where they feel like people are taking advantage of their African Americanness. But the problem is that's not the whole story. Part of it is, I don't think if we don't acknowledge all the aspects of the story, that we'll be confused. So what I mean is, I think we acknowledge the hurts from all people, the brothers and sisters on the continent, the brothers and sisters in the United States, the brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, what have you, because there's a division that's been going on for a long time between us. And hence, there's people who feel, and it's not just feel, there's a certain level of appropriation that does happen in these places. And we are also, as American Africans, guilty of it as well. And what I mean by that is, when we go over to Africa, many times we see it as a capitalistic venture, and then people come here, they see it as a venture. People out here, we are in survival mode. And as long as we're operating in this survival mode, we will never be able to see clearly what's happening, and we'll be fighting one another while the real culprit is out on the loose, continuously causing us hell. You say, Ashe? I got a Ashe from Baba Alba, I must be something must have went right. Yeah. And so we gotta be better at discerning. And that's one of the things that I would like for us to build as we go through this rite of passage. And as I said yesterday with Baba Gregory here, I said, because everybody says they're intuitive. And and he was like, okay, he just finished it for me, right? But the reality is, from my standpoint, we all say we're intuitive, but if it's not in order, if it's not in balance, if I'm not in harmony within myself to a great degree, what I call intuition is often trauma. So a lot of us think that we're intuiting, but we really are reacting. We are being triggered. Right there, Mama.
Can you explain what that looks like, please?
Well, that's a very conversation of it on itself, but it looks like a lot of things. And you want to grab the mic? No, you go ahead. You look like you're ready.
No, I really peace everyone. I really appreciate what you just said. I think that was perfectly stated, and I'll attempt to restate it. That we are many times probably with good intention calling trauma responses intuition.
Yes.
Trauma react, and I believe I've recognized it. I'll start with me.
Mm-hmm.
I've recognized it within myself.
Mm-hmm.
Very tough work to do, but I've recognized that. And because I recognize it in myself, I can see it when it shows up, which makes me have to work deeper. It makes me have to forgive. It makes me have to do a whole lot of inner work when I see that happen. And so, but the other part of it, and I believe Baba Gregory referred to it yesterday, and that was, we don't have the power to change anybody. Our responsibility is for ourselves. So that's for myself. I find myself in that inner grappling, like, oh, I recognize I see that's being referred to as intuition, but I know that that's trauma because I know it in me. But at the same time, I have to work at loving and forgiving where it's coming from, but at the same time, taking care of myself, whatever that might mean, so that I stay in a healthy place as I have to work through it and embody something higher.
Yeah, I say. So, and I'll give an example. Right on. You know, so one thing I don't like doing is having just surface conversations. And what does that mean? Like, I don't do well with catch-alls. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I understand them,
Mhm.
but many times I have a visceral response when I hear people say things like, you know how it feels when that person's energy and your energy, you know when you hug them that person's energy was off. So I asked the question, how do you know yours wasn't?
Right. Right.
So I don't do that.
Right.
Because I get it, but but that to me, and I'd say most of us do it. Most of us who believe that and say those, we don't understand how we are giving people license to stay traumatized.
Yes.
And then we believe we have more intuitive powers as people than we truly do.
Yes.
When I hug you and you feel me pull back and now you're saying, well, this energy was off, or if I hugged you too strong, or whatever it is, maybe your experience said this hug felt like something else that happened in my past.
Yeah.
So I know this person is dirty.
Yeah.
But the reality is your intuition didn't tell you that.
Right. Exactly.
But you will say your intuition, and then we get amongst stages like this, and most of us love to say those things because it's popular.
Yeah.
I'm just an unpopular speaker. Because that's the facts are, and I know we don't like facts, but to me, you got to use both sides of your brain. You got to, like I said, cross that corpus callosum, your left and right hemisphere. Other than that, I'm not really, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Because if we cannot connect the right brain with lots of times we say we're intuiting from with the left brain, then it's no intuition. All of it has to be connected.
Yeah.
Your physical, your spiritual, it's not one or the other. And I challenge you that there's no such thing as one being greater than the other. You prove it to me. And I'm saying, well, do I need facts? I'm just saying that our ancient ancestors even said it. Our African-centered thought even said, look, I challenge everything, honestly. I don't care who said it. But if our African ancestors said it and it's right, it's right. If it fits and it sits, and I can't challenge it where it doesn't make sense, then it sits. But if it doesn't make sense, you discard of it, as Dr. John Henry Clark said in the cans of history, or whatever he said it. So what I'm saying is we have to use all of it. Another way it could look is like a lot of the spiritual gurus in our community. I don't. They go to one counseling session and they become yogis. Another one, I was talking to a sister even here yesterday, and I was saying, and she was like, well, I don't really, and this is plenty of people, let me say that. When I don't really join organizations or groups and be a parts of these things, and because my intuition per se, but the reality is you don't feel comfortable around people.
Right.
You can't go everywhere and say that.
Right.
I say you ain't gotta be here, but at least go join something. And because what happens is we don't want accountability.
Right.
And families require accountability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You got something, Fer?
Always got something.
Well, go ahead. Look. I'm always.
I was gonna let it ride. It was riding pretty well. But when I hear what I call intuition being trauma, you said not service level, be specific. I'll be specific. So like I've realized that like maybe when I was younger, just me being a child, I need my needs met. So I'm surveying the area, I'm surveying the temperament of the household constantly in order to create safety. Okay, well, if everybody's good, then that means I'm gonna have my needs met, XYZ. And then that becomes such a learned behavior then in my adult life when I no longer need to constantly survey because I can actually provide XYZ for myself. I'm still on autopilot of surveying the area. And if somebody is off kilter from what I think is going to create safety,
as my younger brain, not in my adult self, but the younger brain inside of me, the younger person inside of me, I'm still surveying. Like, I'm like, oh, well, if this person isn't good, then my needs aren't going to be met, and that's going to create unsafety for me. So, you know, that's what I heard when I heard the intuition being trauma, because I'll then say, oh, and intuitively, I feel like something is off in XYZ, but in actuality, I'm surveying, not that it's not real, but the threat is not real.
Right. Or
like, I could really actually be seeing it, but it may not correlate to anything.
Right.
But I'm looking for patterns constantly, because I think that we evolved as human beings to be pattern recognition type of creatures where, oh, you see this berry, that means you can eat it. You see this thing, that means you can't eat it. If you hear that sound, that means there's danger. So you constantly looking for patterns of threats or perceived threats in order to keep safety. But what if there is no threat and you just looking for patterns out of nothing, and you always creating the unsafe feeling because you are seeing patterns that, you know, some may exist, some may not exist. So
yeah, thank you for that.
That's what I got from what
you had
saying.
Notes. Thank you for that. And you know, and I'm going. This is going to step on a lot of people. You know, look, you know, I'm coming to my own. So you know, I mean, I'm always open for a discussion. Elders, youngsters, peers, whatever. But I think it is irresponsible to talk like that.
Like what?
To continuously tell us that you're feeling, you can feel it. Because I'm telling you, most of us we are off with our feelings. We have not learned to harness our feelings. We believe our feelings are facts already.
Right.
And we call it intuition.
Right.
So I know it sounds good. I know it'll give you an applause. But it's off. I'm sorry. And I know this is not popular, but that is what has us going around struggling in our relationships. You know how it feels. No, you know when it feels sometimes, but you don't ever talk about the times when you were wrong. You a seer. Yeah, you're right. You did get that right. But what about all those times you didn't get it right? We only remember the times we got it. I sit and I talk to people.
Yeah.
I talk to people every day. They can tell me how great they are with their seership. I ain't gonna lie. I'm good. Because I am emotionally, for the most part, we all got, you know, there's people better than me. Yeah. But I know that I am emotionally stable enough and also emotionally and intellectually stable enough, both, to really pull myself out of it and look at what's going on. Good. I call it matrix, the matrix. I've always thought since I was a child, when I was growing up, and I was like, man, and I said, you know, people now might call it mindfulness, right? But I did this before I found out anything called mindfulness. I said, okay, because I used to like my feelings and my thoughts be on the ruminations and and I said, you know what, that don't work. I gotta be able to pull back. And look at what's really going on. Even any kind of threat. I remember when I really got good at it because I had businesses, to be honest with you. And I'm in my young age, in my 20s, and all this stuff is going on. I mean, so much stuff. I mean, all types of, it's like people trying to do this, do that. I had to pull out of it. First of all, for my anger wouldn't take over because I'm not necessarily an aggressive person. I had to learn to be assertive, but I'm not an aggressive person. So, you know, typically people who aren't aggressive, they let things go. So I had to learn to be assertive. And that's probably why y'all like, why he's so direct? You know, I'm direct because I had to learn that. But at the same time, what I had to learn is how to pull back and look at all the information. I remember one time in the airport. So I never really get, people think that I might not have feelings. I have real feelings. I do. I just learned to train myself to sit in those feelings because I realized by reacting to them overly and too much, you'll just mess up whatever you're trying to do here. So I remember one time in the airport, and we was coming back from Reno, Nevada. I was in my 20s, and my sister like fell out in the airport. I forgot what happened at this point, but everybody, and I was like, I kept very calm. And then we had to do what we had to do. She fell out in the airport. Like, I don't know if she had an asthma attack or what. You remember what happened to her? About like an asthma attack. My sister, and she had to stay in Reno. But as everybody was going, like, wow, I had to slow myself down. And I learned that in business too, because business is so fast and so cutthroat and so this and so that you can get caught up in it. You know? And I'm in my 20s. I swear that's the best training I ever had in my life. Everybody trying to get you. It will really seem like everybody trying to get you if you don't pull back. But even though there's lots of people trying to get you, but you have to pull back so you won't make the wrong decisions. Right. Yeah. So you won't over respond. So you don't lose your control. So this is what I'm saying. So there's a certain level of balance. Like, no, I have feelings. I feel things, but I also have learned to metacognitively look at other people and also slow myself down. You about to say something?
Yeah, I was letting you finish though. But something that I started to process, really meditate on, is differentiating what actually is happening with me when I say I have feelings, right? Mm-hmm. Because it never really dawned on me that my feelings are my feelings is what I'm feeling, like the actual physiological effect on my body, right? And what I tend to say is my feelings are actually my thoughts, because I'm trying to rationalize the feeling that I'm having, right? So a real life experience can happen. It may be anxiety, it may be whatever it is. It may be cortisol, it may be dopamine, it may be serotonin, whatever physical is happening in my body, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it in my chest. I'm feeling it in my stomach. I'm feeling it in my back. I'm feeling the pain in my neck. But then I'm rationalizing the thing I'm feeling because I don't want to actually sit in the actual physical feeling. So then I have thoughts, and then the thoughts race, right? Because I'm not allowing the feeling to just dissipate. And then the thoughts actually make the feeling worse.
Yes.
Right. And on the worst occasions, I have so many racing thoughts. Then I'm acting on the thoughts, and then those actions then become something completely different. But if I alleviate the feeling by sitting in it and not really labeling it good or bad or anything, but sitting in it, it's almost like I'm sitting on a dock and I'm watching a wave go by, or I'm watching something pass by, and it's like, oh, look at that thing pass by, right? And then eventually it dissipate, and then the thoughts actually will dissipate. But when I'm trying to rationalize the thoughts, the feelings actually get worse. So, I'm saying that to say, when I, for a long time, would say, oh, I got a lot of feelings, but I'm really saying I have a lot of thoughts. I might have one feeling, but I'm having a lot of thoughts that come by way of the feeling, the physiological feeling I'm having.
Yeah. I learned to, what did I learn? I learned to, because I used to ruminate when I was younger. So somebody was saying something earlier, and I can bear witness to that. That it was you, brother, Adrian. This, like, you learn through yourself. But what I'm saying, I've learned, like, you reminded me of that. Like, lots of things I talk about, I've been doing it so long. Like, I've been my own experiment for a long time. Yeah. So I mean, like, this ain't stuff I'm just learning yesterday. It's like in my 20s, for real. So what I'm saying, even earlier than that, to be honest with you, I had quite a journey, an inward journey, as I call it, right? Yeah. So I had to learn that when I'm ruminating, I learned just like probably in my late teens or something. When I'm ruminating on a thing, on my early 20s, all I'm trying to do is fix the thing. I'm trying to figure it out. Right. And I realized I will come to the conclusion 1,000 times. Right. Yeah. And so I realized I'm going to stop doing that because I'm going to wear myself out. That's very good. That's exactly. I'm going to wear myself out and come to the same conclusion over and go through that same process over and over again, and then come back, and then you be drained, right? So what we call is emotional regulation, right? You can call it spiritually. What we can call it? We can call it spiritually funneling or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Yes.
No. Oh, really quick. I just wanted to just share how, I mean, when you said what you said about being young and and being able to detach from those, from those feelings. I think that's a powerful thing. And I think that is a practice that is, I don't even know how to say it, but like, when we talk about mindfulness, like you brought it up before, when you talk about mindfulness, I think a lot of these things, even in our feelings, like we don't realize how much our feelings are being affected by other things, like worldly things. Like people tell you how to feel. You subconsciously, you don't even realize it, but when you do have that thing, like, oh, I can feel that, I can feel it. But it's somebody that's saying that, like you've heard that somewhere. You've heard that, you know what I'm saying? So but when you can detach, like yourself, take yourself out of the situation, like you said, a matrix type of thing. I think that's so powerful because, like, I always bring this back around. I know I kind of stay on this all the time, but it's like the society as we know it, that they spend a lot of money to train your mind.
Absolutely.
So they can get you into this. So even with mindfulness, that's not your open thinking. That's somebody saying, concentrate on your leg.
Right.
Concentrate on it. It's still someone telling you to do it. Like,
interesting.
Yeah, so if when you detach yourself, you're gonna actually feel and hear those things. Like brother said, he can be hiking. He's not saying, "Well, let me listen for the birds," or let me, you know what I'm saying? Or a person that's detached, and they can hear all of that stuff comes natural. You can be talking with someone that can say, "Man, you see that? You hear that?" But the other person don't hear because they're attached to the world. You know what I mean? And it may seem mystical or whatever like that, but I think it's the actual way of being. It's the actual way of being, and we've been trained to be the other way.
I see.
Sure.
And I think the practice of mindfulness is just the practice, and it's the practice to get you to do it on your own, though.
Yeah.
And in fact, because when you practice mindfulness, and whatever the word we call, I think I've reframed it here is conscious realignment, is to do exactly that, right? Because we get caught in the ritual, as we get caught in the ritual and we miss the point of the whole thing. You know what I mean? That's what you're saying, right? So we get caught in the ritual state. Like Bible said, you can do all the postures and you can look all good, but you don't know how to breathe. You don't understand the inner philosophy. You don't understand it's like us. We know basic math, and some of us don't know basic math, and we think math don't mean anything, but math tells you everything. Not everything, but everything is mathematical. It can be mathematical. It's nothing that like your eyeglasses on your face it took some math. It's like because we don't understand these things conceptually. We don't understand lots of things conceptually because we want to understand things intuitively. Because intuitively, if you was intuitive enough, you'll know that you need to know more. Right. It's easier to say, I know, I don't need to know. I ain't never read a book. I ain't gonna read no books. I'm tired of reading books, and you ain't never read a book. The Universe in the Teacup. This is the book. Oh, the University Teacup. Oh, the Universe in the Teacup.
I have a challenge.
Hold up, Los. You ain't got no mic, man.
Yes. I was saying there's a book called The Universe in a Teacup, and just like Baba was saying, it actually tells you how all this stuff is connected. It explains how all this stuff is connected, even things that you don't understand. And it goes back to like what we've been talking about for weeks. Like it's hard to understand because you don't understand everything. It's just, you know what I'm saying? And you got to accept that. It's like you don't understand everything. That doesn't mean it's not happening or anything like that. So I just wanted to kind of chime in because you said something about math, and I will say we as Black people, we sometimes get caught up in, I don't want to hear that, or that's the white man stuff, or this, same thing with medicine. Oh, that's the white man's medicine, all that type of stuff. So I just wanted to chime in on that.
Yeah.
Can I bring back an oldie but goodie and just mention a common phrase that has been mentioned, like baffle of being.
Mhm.
That's actually a quite freeing thing because, in all honesty, like even if you know the Fibonacci sequence all the way to the umpteenth power, and you look for it and everything, it does not necessarily make life easier in the sense of knowing every single bit of calculation of everything. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's okay not to know, and it's like, it's cool to know that it correlates. But I'm me personally, I'm all about tangibility, and I like the conversation about mindfulness. What was the other phrase that you were mentioning? It wasn't mindfulness. You said conscious realignment. I'm gonna trademark that. Consciously realignment. I like that. Have you trademarked it? Okay, all right. Then look. Then I'm gonna promote the Ngia framework. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure I give the right reference. But I like that. Dr. Winkler was mentioning at one point CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and how it's helpful. And they even say things like taste the taste in your mouth, listen for 3 things that you hear. What are 5 things that you could see? What's one thing that you could touch? Or what's one thing that you could feel? And like that definitely grounds me in the moment. And trust me, during traffic jams and uncomfortable conversations, it's very helpful. I think about mindfulness as more than just walking through the woods, because that's the ideal situation of mindfulness. No, that is like the perfect situation scenario. But in real world, like if I'm in an argument, I need to detach. Or if I'm not an argument, but if I'm in a disagreement, or if I'm having an elevated heart rate, like functional applications to me make the most concrete sense. And I just wanted to mention.
Can I reframe something about what we're saying today? I want to reframe something about mindfulness and this idea of detachment. I think detachment is okay. I just don't think it's everything, right? Because it's like that's Buddhist, right? It's, detachment. Well, y'all might say it's African. Okay, everything's African, but but there's only one side of it, even if it is African. To me, is the journey of both and, right? But also mindfulness is even mindfulness or conscious realignment is more than detachment. I don't even think that is even a part of it, to be honest with you. It's more of attachment. It's more about going in the feeling and sitting in the feeling. And then that you begin to understand that I can deal with this. It won't overpower me. Right. It's because we try to detach from things, we don't realize our own strength. Exactly. So we continuously run instead of face it. Exactly. Once you face it, you realize what you've been running from doesn't have that much power. Absolutely. So that's about to say something about. So one of the things is that's one of the things. But another thing,
I got a challenge.
Go ahead.
I think some of
you
us.
You didn't win none yet, but
no, I mean, look. Is it really about winning at all?
Yes.
I'm detaching.
You said challenge. Look, it's both hands.
But look, I think some people, there may be a response or a deeper inclination to detach naturally, and in that case, they should stay in tune. I think other people may be way too attached, and like in order to create balance, they might need to detach a little bit, not separate yourself from the feeling, but maybe detach yourself from the situation enough to understand the difference between a threat, like a real threat, and like, oh, this is an experience that I'm having. That's not so bad, but like it's not life-threatening because the parasympathetic, the stress hormones and response, like the fight or flight, it does kick in. Your adrenaline does kick in certain situations, and sometimes it's on autopilot. And if you can't turn that off, you're if you can't practice enough discernment to say, I need to control myself. I don't need to be so into it. I need to actually take a degree of separation so I can actually feel the feeling, and it really isn't so bad. I think that, there's a balance. It depends on where you are on the spectrum.
But we're talking about mindfulness.
Yeah, mindfulness in each moment as it's tangible.
So even those people. So you, first of all, we said challenge. So, I'm gonna mess with you a little bit. So you in yourself said the parasympathetic. And the parasympathetic, the role of the parasympathetic nervous system is to calm that down. So if that's kicked in, that is innately saying that you're calming down. So in your own sentence, you said that it was calming. So because you said the parasympathetic, I know you're just using words perhaps, but no, that's it.
I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
No, I'm messing with
I'm almost sure I said if it doesn't kick in, but
but I do get what you're saying. People do need to first and foremost, I don't think those same people though who are overly aroused by these things think that they can handle the thing. I think they're doing everything but sitting still in it. Mike.
So what I was going to say was that sometimes the idea of detachment, I think I liked it so much because I was so afraid of what I had to sit in. Mm-hmm. So I could detach. Mm-hmm. Really, while that's cool and it has some merit, but if I'm afraid to sit with this thing because I don't trust what I'm gonna do, and I got all these concepts in my head. Detachment is dope in that sense. It's nice. Oh, I don't have to feel. I don't have to. It's almost like escapism sometimes for me. I don't have to. Oh, I'm sorry. It's almost like okay. I don't have to be responsible. I give you something very real. This morning with myself. So in an experience that I was having a relationship experience. In reaction, and I said to myself, okay, you know what would happen if I just choose to take responsibility for why I'm upset because I didn't get what I wanted? What if I just do that? And when I did that kind of felt good. And I think what made me feel good was I wasn't hiding from something, and so it kind of took the horror of sitting in it away from me. And so I think fear, Dr. Gregory talked about that yesterday too. Like, it's tough to use that word. Like, there are many times I am afraid. I am afraid to get into this discourse or this challenge with you, with this or with you or it or whatever, because how it's going to make me feel. And I don't want to feel like that because I don't know what to do with that feeling. I don't know what to do with this.
Right.
I'm completely uncomfortable and I want to escape. So.
That's it. And even in it, you're not in it.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm in it, but I'm not sitting in it.
Right.
I'm rage. I feel I'm fearful. I'm moving. My mind is moving. Everything is moving. And it's just a mosquito, bro. It's just a mosquito. It's just a mosquito. It's just a mosquito.
Yeah.
So when do the thoughts oppose the feeling? What happens in the mind when the thoughts are opposing the feeling, and then the opposite? What happens when the feelings? I think you might have covered it a little earlier, because he said the thought is the manifested feeling. But what happens if there's no equality or merging of that? What happens?
What's that look like?
Yeah, what does that look like?
I'm asking you, like in real life, the thought is not congruent with the feeling.
Yeah, I'm going to give you an example. I was sitting at the train station yesterday, and a brother came up. He was very frustrated because his wife told him to take the MARC train to the airport, but he said, "I knew better." He said, "I knew I should have just done so and so." He said, and then he just started venting. And I was just there listening. He said, I listen to her all the time. And every time she tells me something is wrong. And why do I keep going why do I keep going up against what I know? I said, because you feel some kind of kindness and you want to be in harmony with your wife, feeling wise.
I would challenge him because I know he's not.
But what I did say to him, Hey, but what I did say,
Look who's like up in here.
my. But what I did say was this. I said, well, if what you're feeling is correct, but you keep doing what your wife wants you to do, when you know what the outcome is going to be, you got to make some decisions and do what you know is correct. Okay? No matter what that brings with it. Because time and time again, he said, I know the right thing to do, but when I listen to
Say
her,
it again. What did you say, Tom?
I told him, he said, this happens to me all the time with my wife. I know the right thing to do, but to appease her, I do what she says, and I wind up spending more money. I wind up wasting more time. And I said, well, you're going to have to do what you know to do.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
He's passing blame.
Is he?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He's not taking accountability. He wants to blame it on somebody else.
Instead of
my wife always tell me all the time everything she says is wrong. That's what he said.
That's
everything.
What he said.
Not everything is wrong. So who's the problem here? You or her?
Yeah.
Every single thing. Absolutely everything.
So that's the thought, not being in harmony with the feeling, or that's just not being accountable.
We're gonna let Ferg and a few other people close it out. Then we're gonna switch to our topic. But I mean, go ahead.
What I was trying to describe earlier is like the feeling. I don't think is good or bad or anything, but it's physiological. Like even the way you said, "Oh, what you're feeling." I mean, I could have easily. Well, I think even in that, I imagine that what you're saying is what you're thinking is, but what he's feeling is the sensation that he's literally physically feeling. And I think that feeling can create irritation. And then everything outside of that then becomes like, oh, well, I'm upset about this. I'm upset about this. I'm upset because I was late. I was upset because of this. But like, you may just be irritated because the feeling is there. That I think that's kind of like what I'm saying. And when you were mentioning, what if the feeling and the thought, it's like, I think about it like a search bar on a computer where it's like pending, or uploading, where it's like you're feeling the feeling, but then you're looking for constantly the thing that is like the cause of it. And for me, I'll ruminate on, well, I know that the reason I'm feeling this way or the way I'm thinking is this, and then I'm constantly thinking about it. And then it actually makes the feeling worse. What I was mentioning earlier was, instead of even saying it's a good, bad, anything, don't even put a thought out there and just feel the feeling. And feeling the feeling is, my stomach hurts. And, it's sharp pain here. And like literally describe the feeling long enough that the feeling dissipates. And then I learned that the thoughts may dissipate after, because I'm looking for an explanation for the feeling. I hope that was helpful. If not, I don't know.
I just think his feeling was false. It's no way possible that it could be true. It's in CBT, they'll call it a cognitive distortion. There's no way that his wife tells him something every time and it's always wrong. He's feeling his feelings are telling him that, or his intellect is telling him that in that moment because they're overwritten possibly by his emotions. He doesn't want to take accountability because there's no way that every time his wife, why is he married? So what I'm saying, every time his wife tells him something, it's wrong. And I don't know why he keeps doing it. He wants compassion and empathy, just like we talked about people out here. We seek affirmation, and we know how to get it. We want people to feel for us, especially empaths like yourself.
I'm looking more for understanding.
What's that?
Understand. If I'm saying something, if I'm communicating something, or if you're communicating with me, I want to be able to understand it.
Understand him?
No, not him. Just any situation right now, because you just said empathic people look for affirmation.
No. I'm saying that person
Yeah.
looks for affirmation from empaths like yourself. I wasn't throwing you. I wasn't coming for you.
You could do that because I still would seek understanding from it.
Yeah. I mean, because that's what, just like the sister was telling you about earlier, same thing. A lot of people know how to become, a lot of men especially, or even women, we know how to pull people in to that place that we got stuck in our trauma. That age or what have you, that little boy that seems so innocent, that's this hurt, you can just see that he can be brilliant. You know how people say they got in a relationship for the potential. They see the hurt, they see the pain, but they see that he has so much potential, or she has so much potential, but they know how to pull you in. Everybody does this to me. This person, to me, in the book that I'm writing in Gia, I have a chapter called, and I probably said it already, it's called Refusing to be Traumatized. And most of us, we have been coddled, or what I also have in there, the pedestalized victim, where being victimized has a way of pulling people in, especially the mental health community, to have all this empathy. And I'm empathetic, but I also understand empathy sometimes doesn't have boundaries. And what people would do is pull you in to manipulate you, unconsciously or consciously, because people like that have learned to be survivalists. Yes. The brother who came in today, he's a survivalist, I can tell. But you just do what you do. But at the end of the day, it's so good, it pulls on you. It's so good, and it's so unconscious. Like, it's so unconscious. I'm talking about it's just a pattern. I pull on you, and you fall in love with me until the little monster comes out. As Dr. Gregory was talking about yesterday, he spoke about from his theory, and I agree that you're every age you've always been.
Right.
And if you allow that age that you're stuck at to lead, this is what you'll get. Somebody who blames something on his wife. You sit here, literally, it sounds like he's blaming himself, but no, he's looking for this this is my theory, this is my conceptualization. I could be wrong, but he's looking for empathy. He's looking for coddling. He's looking for affirmation. He's looking for someone to see him. Because somebody probably didn't see him when he was younger. Sure. So now it becomes whatever we do. A lot of the work that I do is help people not to take on this perpetual victimhood. Yeah. Because that is where you get stuck in trauma.
Can I mention, in him blaming his wife, I don't think he sees himself.
Yeah, because he knows it, but he refuses to see it. He blocks it. And I call that the F that switch. Yeah. You know what F that means? You can say forget. But you can say yes. What do you think it means? The F that switch comes on, and then you go back into your victimhood. We've all been there. And I'm saying this is like, you don't really dig deep until you get out of it. I'm saying this is, as the brother said earlier, this is things that from an early age, I'm like, you know what? I had to fight past that. Like, look at me, look. So you just want everybody to feel sorry for you. And there's some truth there. Like, but the reality is you can get stuck there. You can get stuck there. But what did you have to do to change that situation? And then you can go to the other opposite, because I've been there too, where you go from
everybody's hyper independent,
where you like basically like, look, why are you still crying? Let's keep moving. Right. You know what I mean? What do you say?
I just said hyper insensitivity.
You just like, look, I don't know why you crying. Pick up your boots and let's go. You know, like you say, how that's you? See, so I've been, especially as a business person, I'm talking about been through, I can't even tell you the things I saw. I've been, look, my mother will tell you all the world wars I've been through, but I don't feel them like that. You know what I'm trying to say? But at the same time, it's important to have both. All right, let's switch gears just a little bit, family. All right, we're gonna close it out for the what's the title, brother Tyron? You know the title of today? The American. Can y'all put that overlay up so I can read the overlay? And the people on YouTube. Okay, the dream that lied, reframing the myth of the American dream. We're gonna close this one out strong, y'all. The dream that lied, reframing the myth of the American dream. So this was more of a. So this myth, this is our fourth, I guess, installation of, or our fourth episode in the myth series. I'm here. What I like, I'm hearing this is this. That there's a confluence of ideas. There's things coming from past sessions here that we're pulling in, like the baffling of being, or all these type of things, the ways of understanding or ways of being I heard today, right? So this one right here is more of a heartfelt thing due to just my emotional state. And at that time, when I decided, what are we going to talk about today? What are we going to talk about? And what I mean is, I see so much, even those who say they know better, the conscious of us are still tied into what America has sold us. Whether that is political, economic, psychological, gender. Somebody pull up Dr. Neely Fuller's what does he call it? The areas of racism. Somebody pull it up for me when you get a chance. What is it? Where he talks about entertainment. Hold on, mom, take the mic.
Entertainment, education, law, religion,
sex.
Sex, and sports, athletics. I believe it's athletics. Well, that would come under entertainment.
I don't know if he says culture. I'm not sure, but you can almost name everything. Let's just say that. And the idea is that racism is in everything. You can add some things. You can add class. You can add race. You can add all these things into it. And as much as we say we know, and as much as we look at these things, it's more comfortable for us to ignore the very things that we know, because we want to feel comfortable in our situation, that we tell ourselves lies about what America has given us, and even the very opportunity we have here. We have very Eurocentric ideas of success, although they don't serve us. In fact, they have us dying and killing ourselves. We have Eurocentric thoughts, beliefs, behaviors. Are you looking for the restaurant, or are you coming for the look? You can look. We'll close, but we close, but you can look though. Yeah, my wife is not here. She will help you. Yeah. So Eurocentric, we have adopted certain aspects of it, and all of us, right, to help us feel comfortable where we are. Right. Education. Did we say education? What is,
That's education. Dr. Welsing said, if you do not understand racism and white supremacy and how it works, nothing will be understandable to you.
Everything else will just confuse you.
Yes.
And that came from Nellie Fuller Yeah. So she always spoke of him as her mentor. And he just passed on not too long ago. Let's lift Dr. Wells and Nellie Fuller up in the conversation. And some of y'all was saying earlier, I don't know what it was, but we was talking about not understanding things on a deeper level. I'm coming back. Not understanding things on a deeper level has us confused because we think that that understanding things on a surface level is enough. I'm tired of talking. What is all this theory for? We don't need to understand theory. And Dr. Welsing was a theoretician. Nellie Fuller was a theoretician. Theories help you conceptualize what is going on. And Dr. Amos Wilson said that we always say that we don't really respect theory, but truly we don't really understand that people are ruling you with theory and theories. And I have to be honest, not until I got into my first year of my PhD program did I truly understand what theory is. I'm saying it's like there's levels to understanding things. Y'all got what I'm saying? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I try to give people an understanding of, so we can have a respect for people in their fields and things like that. Just like, for example, Baba know he does Tai Chi. And when he does Tai Chi, he's doing some things I ain't even seeing. Right? He don't have to tell me that. Right. I just know he knows the theory. He knows all of it. I mean, I don't know about all of it, but he know he know what he know. In other words, someone else can call him a master. So he knows he knows the slightest things about it, the nuance. I often say that he has a bigger map than I have, or most of us in this room, I can assume, have when it comes to Tai Chi. That's just one example of the many things he does, right? Because he's a multi-potentialite. So he gets to see things. I'm doing things, and he's like, "Oh, that's good." Now, as perfect as I think the best I ever done it, he can still see where, okay, he being nice. He's helping scaffold me to be to perfection. Yes. He's not expecting me to be where he is, although he knows there's a long distance between us. And sometimes we think that because we got to move down, that we understand the thing.
Say that again, please.
Many times, we believe because we understand a move that we truly understand the thing. And we don't. And I like to say that we have to have respect for those, because we can't see those. Like, I think that's part of the problem. We don't understand that people can have a wider range. I say bigger map than us. And we got this big of a map. And we think that we can compete with people who map this large. And the one thing I realize is, look, I can make some stuff up because my map is this big, and you still won't be able to debate with me because I'm gonna out debate you because my map is this big. You could be right, and I can still out debate you because I know this much map. You know what I'm trying to say? So, like, it's like me trying to say, well, Baba, that's not right, you know, and then he can say, look, you know. He knows something. He know the dip a little bit more. You know, hold up, you know. So I think that theory is very important. And what I mean is, I'm just saying, for lack of a better way, don't negate people for what they specialize in.
Well, I think that ties into what you've said a couple of lessons ago, and that is going back to feelings. Mm-hmm. And that we have rested upon that as opposed to really seek and understand theoretical concepts, which leave us outside. Mm-hmm. We don't get to come inside and really see, hear, and be taught the deeper understanding mm-hmm. of what theory is about because we're so busy in our feelings.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong complete with feelings, right? But they need to have some foundation. They shouldn't rule, right?
A feeling is not a fact.
A feeling is not a fact. And a fact is not a feeling. We need them all, right? So bringing that back to this conversation, the myth of the American, reshaping or reframing the myth of the American dream. So many of us don't realize that everything we do out here, someone we got the theory, as Brother Carlos said earlier. Someone has, I'm not gonna say someone, it's come from somewhere. Even BBLs. Was that BBLs?
Even BBLs.
The operation.
Yes. But we think that we're making our own decisions.
That's it. That's essential. That's it.
And even, it even defines what you believe look good. Because when you become African-centered in a way, you start to see beauty in a whole different way. You start to see beauty in the kinkiness of hair. You start to see the lock that's not perfectly parted as being beautiful. But when you still kind of, I'm not saying that you can't see beauty in both, because I mean, I'm I'm not one of those people that act like I can't, like I'm going to cut a beauty off, because I'm not going to be limited to myself to what is beautiful. But when someone else tells you what beauty is, and you subscribe to that, you must understand that's a theory, that's a concept, and you've bought into it. You got something, Los?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, not funny, but I used to listen to Nelly Fuller. He used to come on the morning show with Carl Nelson before he passed. I mean, every week he would come on, and people listening would be frustrated with him saying exactly what you just said. Like, you don't realize how embedded racism is into the way you think and things of that nature. Now, according to like what we're talking about now, like the myth of just the myth of theory, like if you don't have a real interest in what you need to know, what you need to understand, what you need to learn, then you're not going to get the fullness of it. And we have been taught with theories of people who don't have a vested interest in it. I mean, they're educators, they're researchers or whatever, but I think me and you talked about it before. Researchers search for their answer, like they search for support of what their idea is. But when you have a vested interest in really getting to the bottom of things, like I remember John Henry Clark in his debate, I don't know, you probably saw it on YouTube, where, they were trying to compare what he was saying and what his ideas were with some of the other debaters up there who were of European descent. And, the moderator was trying to put that on that level. And he told him, he's like, I don't debate with people who are not on my level. I teach them. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, like, if someone has these theories, and I mean, we go by them all the time, law theories, theories of Afrocentricity. I mean, like you said, we got these new Pan-Africanists that come up with new theories every day, and we have a lot of people that adhere to them and say, oh, well, that's that, but they're not really vested in the actual interest of understanding. They almost vested in the interest of acceptance. You know what I mean? Like, can I be a part of this circle? Can I be, like you said, can you go to a session and all of a sudden become a master?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And people want to become the master too soon. Literally, that becomes a part of that American dream, that lie. That American dream says that you are nobody, like until you somebody, or unless you the boss. You can do. I like Dame Dash, but he crazy sometimes. But Dame Dash say, like, he taught this boss talk. You know what I'm saying? That's Western stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's Western. It sounds good. It's catchy. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he talking about everybody gotta be a boss, and you ain't a boss. You's a chump. You's a wimp. It's like, and you want to see why you got health problems, and then we like it. See, that's the sign of an unhealed healer.
And financial problems.
And like problems.
The same person, not to cut you off, but the same person who preached all of that has now he got people trying to defend him, saying, oh, you should come to help this guy. Like, you should, now he's not in that boss sense, because now he's looking for a boss.
I thank you for saying financial problems, because that's what I really meant, right? But health problems can't come about of that, because I don't want people to think health problems ain't gonna come, because I'm not saying that either. Because you can have health problems and breathe all the best air, you know what I mean? Because we're gonna die one day. That's a part of nature, and so that is very African. Like American dream, we don't even think about dying.
Remember I said a few weeks ago, like we're living for when we pass. And we don't live our lives fully because we have been told that paradise is when we leave this earth. So we don't live a life of paradise. Like we don't even try to obtain it.
That's the African American dream.
That's the African American dream. Like, but when you go to indigenous places, they're not I'm not talking about indigenous places where they have a ample number of Europeans there. I'm talking about indigenous places that we don't even hear about because there's no news or anything. You think those people are worrying about what Trump says or if somebody pays some taxes or anything? They're living their life how life is.
And
Like
that's American theory, taxes and all these different things. I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm just saying that we believe that this is the only way we must live. We can live. And we bought into it so much that we don't think we can change it. Yeah. So we might as well, and I get why people get frustrated. Like you can't change it because we have a lot on our minds to believe that we are too weak as African people in America to bring about that change.
Yeah.
Real quick, let me say this real quick, then I'm gonna throw it back. So for those in the initiates and rites of passage, I would like to hear some of y'all bring some of that book into the conversation. But go ahead.
That you picking up what I'm putting down.
Okay,
I like how you thinking because I think about the myth that I subscribe to pretty much most of my life until very recently, I'd say. And I think that part of what I'm working through with the miseducation of Negro is, and I'm gonna paraphrase for a second. I'm not quoting directly from any book right now, but I feel like the biggest thing that I could do wrong is not live up to my potential, right? And that whole thing is it's a carrot in front of the horse race because if you're good at a lot of things, or if you then everybody says, oh, monetize this, oh, do this and do that, and then when you feel like you can't meet that thing, then for me it plays into my self-esteem and all the rest of that stuff. But I'm not just doing these things naturally anymore. I'm not just doing it because I love it. Now I'm trying my best to play guitar just because I love it, and I don't have to monetize it, and I don't have to be traveling the world playing guitar. I don't have to live up to my potential. And in all honesty, the biggest detriment of it is because I will bypass a living wage, which will actually be more sustainable towards real happiness for me. If I really think about what it is I want to be able to supply the needs for my family. I want to be able to take care of my kids. I want to be able to pay my mortgage. I want to be able to do those things. Those things can be met with just living up to my, getting a living wage. But sometimes I will bypass opportunities that will provide a living wage because I feel like I got to live up to my potential. I got to be this. And I got to be the boss. I got to do the big thing. I got to make $1 million. And if I don't feel like I'm that, then I'm, that is the myth that I feel like I have bought into at one point.
What does it mean to live up to your potential?
When I was a kid, I'm playing guitar, I'm skateboarding, I'm an athlete, I'm nationally ranked, I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. Everybody, they're like, man, he's living up to his potential, and that's running on high. That's it's not saying that you don't strive for some level of excellence, or you don't strive for some level of like, I'm gonna do well, but it's that feeling that anything less than first place isn't worth it. And it's like that, so living up to potential. I mean, even the guitar right now, I play guitar because I enjoy guitar. I'm not trying to sell records. I play chess because I enjoy chess. But when I feel like, okay, well, I'm decent at this thing, now I got to go in competitions and I got to win. And anything less than winning feels like you're failing. I don't have to live up to my potential. I could just be. And I feel like by being, it's very freeing. I play because I want to play. I do the thing because I want to do. And separating that. I mean, even Brother Carlos and I had a conversation earlier. I do meditations online sometimes. He's like, yeah, you should monetize that. And it's that, no offense, it's that exact feeling of now I got to put pressure on this thing to make money. And now I'm not being. now I have to be the influencer with 1 million followers, or I feel like I'm less than worthy.
I think Mama got a response for you.
I do, because I think that is part
Thank
of
you.
what we're trying to unlearn from being over here in this society from a Eurocentric perspective. Because if we were in our natural state without going through all the trauma that we've experienced, that trauma which was placed upon us, and then those traumas that we learned and what we've done to one another, that wouldn't even be an issue, because you're one with that guitar already. The rhythm is already inside of you. And so you just express that naturally. And what the book has shown me, especially with the two different classes, the working class and those that are highly educated, is that the highly educated felt the more that I assimilate to this European concept, I'm going to be accepted. I'm going to be valued. I'm going to be appreciated, while looking down, as opposed to helping his brother up and saying, you can do the same. You can do you can do better. That divisiveness was there specifically to keep our eyes on each other. It goes back to that whole Caribbean African FBA thing, to keep our eyes on each other, as opposed to loving one another, healing one another, and unlearning this thing that has kept us captive for so long.
Thank you, Mom. You can go, bro.
Just briefly, I feel like this is connected from what you were saying, brother, and what you were saying, sister. I thought about the blues. I thought about, when you think about the history of the blues, down in the South in the 30s on back, bluesmen, Muddy Waters, all those, they were in the community. They had identity in their communities, and they played from social gathering to social gathering in the community. And then the idea came in, go to Chicago to make it big. That idea. And so then a migration happened. And so, but as you were talking, I was thinking like, wow. So, but that whole idea of that we kind of held on to, even when you think about the rent parties and people, back in the early days going from houses, that was a communal thing. That comes from further back than the 30s.
I see.
It was the community, but just to your point, the idea of what this other idea of success that came from somebody else. Yeah, come up here to this is where it is, as opposed to. So I think that's a very interesting thing to think about. So I thought about that as you were saying it. There's a lot that I can say about that, because I am a musician, and I have a lot of things that I can say about that I'm not going to try to do right now. but we need to, I believe they'll be relevant to other discussions.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to as soon as we started talking about it, I thought about it. I was like, earlier I told Brother Fur to monetize it. And I don't want to be misunderstood. What I was saying, actually, no, that's what I said. When you said no disrespect, it wasn't open to that. What I was saying is that when you're doing something that you love, it can actually benefit you in that type of way without, that would be our mind saying, hey, now I gotta pay more attention to it. And that's why I said sometimes you might have to get somebody else to do that. But that's what I wanted to say, because that's what I kind of meant, because it's just like here at the temple, like Minister Saad does this for the reasons that he do it for, to help us enlighten ourselves, help us to move forward as people, and then our African-centered thinking. But if somebody can go online at the end of the thing and say, hey, if you guys can contribute to this, you know what I'm saying? So it's still about that, because it's not begging, or it's not putting yourself in this forceful way to do that. It's about, if you're doing something you love and somebody will appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's what I was trying to say. That's why I was saying, I'm not saying like, because you can get caught up in that. I'm an artist as well. And like for years as a younger person, this was back before social media. We had to make trips to New York to send demos out and things like that. And you start doing things that,
right,
you know, you're like, I wouldn't do this normally. You know, you go meet people that they kind of shysty and you're like, I got to get on. I'm going to have to go meet with these people. And it's like, so I understand that. I don't mean to try to mislead you in that way, but that's what I was trying to say.
Can I jump on that? That's a beautiful both and, right? And what I mean by that, huh?
No, I'm saying I like
yeah. So again, y'all know the book, right? Journey of Both and the both part is you can do both, but when we still have the wiring of the Eurocentric ideas of success, we can't. We struggle because it's not the thing that money can't help. Because y'all can drop some money in here, right? You know, it's not. Please, by all means. And yes, I like to get compensated for my services, but it's not all about that.
Right.
See, so it's like, for example, even material things. Like I've neglected myself of material things, but both ends, you can have material things and it not be the end of the world. Because see, me, I can have a material thing, lose the damn material thing, and I'll still be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. So the money doesn't have to define you, but give me some if you got it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, because I don't really look, I don't, when I say I'm talking about us, I'm not going to kill myself if I don't have it.
Right.
But, you know, if you put a little money in the good talk case, I'm fine. Or if I don't make it to Elvis, wrong person. If I don't make it to Michael Jackson status, don't mean I'm a failure.
Exactly.
In fact, I don't even expect to. In fact, we in America, which we have been conditioned, and this is part of what Brother Coles was talking about earlier, to celebrity culture,
Right.
Yeah.
even with our own leaders. So to me, I don't care who comes. I'm just going to be honest. I am very, very wary whether or not, I don't care if it's an African leader, if it's a person in the United States, I don't care if it's your boy Umar or if it's your boy, I'm just going to keep it a buck. If I even see an African leader who comes out there and we're now raving over, we have been so conditioned to see people as saviors and celebrity status. Like if they don't have the status, means that they're not relevant.
Exactly.
In fact, there's a book called, I do think you might check the book out, called Gifted. So there's a book, Gifted Adults. And I've been reading it a lot for myself, honestly, in multi-potential light. People who feel misunderstood, but people have all these different gifts, right? And I think it would be a good read for you, honestly. I think actually I was going to maybe have the write a passage to kind of read it too, but there's this one called The Gifted Adults, but there's other one called Rainforest Mind or something like that. It's a lot of literature on giftedness, and this is a construct, and it talks about see, we struggle to see the geniuses before us, right? Like we struggle to see the multi-potential light, right? Like we take each other lightly. We don't even really see it. Like honestly, I just speak boldly. Like if you can't see that, I'm kind of guy. I do a lot. I am awesome. I'm be honest with you. Just real like look. I'm just trying to tell you. If you know the many things that I can do and the things I know, you will be like, damn. And I see it in y'all. You see what I'm saying? But
See it in you too, brother.
Yeah. But the thing is, we don't acknowledge it until the American Dream Factory validates it.
Yeah.
See, because they said that we talk about Einstein as a genius, but or somebody, a Nobel Prize winner, but they say the research supports that, the history supports that we didn't know the Nobel Prize winner just a year before he or she earned the Nobel Prize. Yeah. So were they never anybody?
Yeah.
And I'm saying that and typically why you find yourself in spaces like these is because you have a certain wiring that allows you to see complexity in things that does not fit in these boxes that people try to put you in. Right. That's Los. Ain't it speaking to you all day? So you know you're the troublemaker when you go to the church because you asking questions. When you like my father, when he like, look, well, I'm asking these questions that people don't want to hear. And then you have all these skills. And then sometimes your emotions are a little bit too much for you. You don't know what to do with all that. You're sensitive. Right. And you can see how, I don't know if y'all can notice, I'm very acutely aware. Like if you make a gesture, I'm like, so mama, you got something. So you can, huh? Yeah, so people might not think I'm sensitive, but I am sensitive. I just know how to regulate it. And that is the goal. Because your sensitivity is that you can see that. I'm like, oh, what you got something? You got something, but it don't like I'm not, you know, that type of thing. Go, mom.
So how do we unconsciously peel those layers back so we don't fall back the layers of Europeanization? Because as you said, it's in everything.
We gotta keep working. We gotta keep studying. Sometimes we say, oh, you know, I did that. We get tired. Look, we get tired of it.
What's lonely? It's a lonely road. It's a lonely road.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
Brother Carlos.
Kind of touched on it, but I think one way to kind of get ourselves out of that thinking is we have to set what success is for ourselves. Like we can't say, oh, that person makes $1 million, I need to make $1 million. Oh, that's, you know, we have to say, like, some success for some people could just be having their own business, whatever it makes. Success could be living a healthy lifestyle. I'm successful, you know what I mean? But we can't set our success parameters on what we see, because, you know, I know it sounds a little crazy to keep saying it, but that is the European thing. Like, they're gonna tell you if you're, you know, I grew up in East Baltimore. No one in my family had a car. We had to catch hacks places or walk or catch a cab or whatever like that. But to me, I wasn't poor. You know, I tell anybody,
yes,
say I lived I grew up, I had a good life. My grandmother and grandfather provided. They had a home. My mom I didn't even stay with my mom, but when I did stay with her, I had another home. Like I said, I look at my daughters now. Dad, can you take me to the mall? Oh, can you take me to the bus stop? I'm like, what? Like,
how you doing?
I'm like, you know, and I don't tell them no, because I'm glad I have the opportunity and the means to do these things. But I didn't think I was poor. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree.
So success to me was not like, I never looked up to Donald Trump or what's the guy used to go, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. That stuff was nothing. It wasn't nothing to me. It was like false. It was fake. So that's what I wanted to say.
And guess what? I hear people say it all the time. And I like to say, and I think you're saying the same thing, but I like to be like that's just straight and clear. Because Brother Chuck and a lot of people tell me, I didn't know I was poor. No, you weren't. Somebody told you was poor, so now like no, you weren't. That's it. Like there's no such thing as poor if you wasn't poor. Somebody has to tell you, oh, your parents live under the poverty line, but you never need it. Yeah. So now you buy into this idea that I was poor. Look, you can't tell me I was poor. Yeah. Like it ain't no such thing. Yeah. I mean, well, I don't. Yeah, ain't no such thing. I mean, when you live in. In a community-oriented fashion. Yep. And one of the things I wanted to say, I was looking up, thinking about, is that when you even look at the mission of Temple of New African Thought, one of the things I was certain to put in there is kind of alignment to like what the vision is. When I don't have it in front of me, I wanted to read it, but the vision is about that having healthy families. To me, it's about us operating in a healthy manner. You know, like if you look at what we call indigenous people call them poor, but if they poor because they don't have a skyscraper, that's the thing. That's the idea I used to always struggle with, this whole idea, this whole concept that even my man Dr. Claude Anderson used to talk about. Well, black people don't even have a skyscraper, or I mean they don't have any building over 3 stories. Like that's a lie, first of all. But I'm just like that's a lie, first of all. And secondly, why are we judging ourselves according to European standards? And
you got to think, if someone was to chime in, just walking out of the door and say, hey, what's going on here? And they see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of us in here, you know, they would assume that it must not be. I mean, there's only 10 people in there, but they don't understand the wealth of knowledge and information and community that's going on in this group of 10, and however it may fluctuate either way. But that's what I'm saying. The idea is that, you know, if it's not big numbers, then it must not be, the message must not be there.
And it goes against that biblical verses though. It said the middle road, the narrow path, and all this type of thing. That's why I'm saying people don't believe their own teaching. They don't believe their own theories. Yeah. How you gonna say all that and then the same person be on YouTube like, you ain't got the numbers I got, but you ain't got the numbers I got. But now hold on, you supposed to be a conscious person, and you know that the more revolutionary or radical you are, the more likely you will be censored and quieted. So now you saying because the apparatus allows you to get more views, somehow you believe you're more revolutionary,
more relevant too.
More relevant. So we're gonna close on out and go around a circle. I guess we're gonna close out like this. Let's see how we can do this. If you can talk about this American, something you had to unlearn. Let's do that. Let's pick that back. Something you had to unlearn about this American dream for your own mind, body, spirit, soul, whatever you want to call it. We can start. We can.
Can I start?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just kind of wanted to correlate it all. Just listening to what we was talking about earlier about how our feelings are mistaken as truth and intuition. And to answer your question, I think part of the solution would be changing what we consume. Like even our diet is European centric or European lifestyle. So as I started changing my diet, I started to change the way I feel. Mm-hmm. So my intuition definitely was different, and I can't go off of that when I'm eating bad things. If I'm consuming toxic ingredients, then my intuition is going to be toxic. So if I think that if we start to align ourselves on the same frequency and start to get back to some of our origins and challenge those things, like he say, then I think that can be part of the answer to what you were saying.
I say thank you, brother. So however you want to close it out?
Yeah, I'll
any final words is well.
Okay, yeah. So again, I'm kind of going to second that. I just we talked earlier about this detachment, and it's not detachment from reality. It's detachment from indoctrination and propaganda. I believe that one of the ways that we can, just a simple thing, like if you look at the majority of us in here, just the way we're dressed, that's actually, we're thinking about that. We're creating our own identity. You know what I'm saying? And we're not being told, this is what you have to look like, or like ministers have brought about kinky hair and things like that. So the more we identify with ourselves, and I'm not talking about ourselves as Africans, but I'm talking about ourselves as our own being. And the more we identify with that, the easier it is to disconnect from the propaganda, and you'll at least start to see it when it's happening. Like it's subconsciously always happening, but then when you start to see it, you can say, nah, I'm not fooling with that. You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to say.
I see. Well, it's on the screen. What as it relates to the American dream? What did you unlearn, or what can you unlearn? How do you want to put it? And any final words are fine as well.
I'm unlearning that I am not okay.
I see.
I'm learning that what I eat, what I allow in my eye gate, what I allow in my ear gate will determine how I see myself, how I see everybody that looks like me. And so the thing is to unlearn what I've been taught from a wee child, and be able to discern when it's something coming from a pure place, as opposed to what the society wants me to be and express myself as.
I see. Brother Reg, you got something? Red, move on, Red Rage. Come on, Red Rage. Bring it up, Bob.
So I was just sitting here thinking how just how grateful I am to have found this community, and how it's like the both end. It has helped me to it's just kind of reaffirmed what I already knew, which was that though I have come an awful long way in unlearning,
Mm.
God, I got a lot of work to do. It's like a buffet. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I am found the kind of community, right, that'll take care of me. You guys don't check me. I get you know what I mean, too big for my britches, and at the same time, I'm sure you guys will acknowledge my effort and my commitment. I gotta do better.
I say, can I just want to like kind of bounce off that a bit and then turn it back over. One thing I like reframes just a bit sometimes, right? Because the framing is important, right? So, an American dream or whatever we call it, the American dream would say, "I got a lot of work to do." An African-centered perspective would be that the work continues. It's continuous, always continues. So when we understand that we always have work to do, and everybody always has work to do, what's the word I'm looking at? It de-pathologizes it, because many times we think we're the only one that has a lot of work to do. The work will never stop, and once we realize the work never stops, then we realize that we are not behind.
Well, in my lifespan, I had to unlearn that they always taught me that I wasn't nobody. I wasn't nothing. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I kind of grew up. And I'll never forget the first time I seen a brother driving a bulldozer. I was so proud. You see what I'm saying? Because I never seen a person run machines like that. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it looked like me, exactly. That mirror image, right? So even up as I came up in my life, I really had to unlearn the stupidity that they put upon us, saying that we wasn't nothing. We didn't do anything. And then the best part of that is that I found out that we did a lot of things. You see? So, and sometimes I look back and I say, I might feel sorry for our people, but you know who I really feel sorry for more than that? Is that white man that think he do everything. And when he have to unlearn that it's not like that. I say. Yeah, I got that.
You got anything, Barbara?
Yes, I had to unlearn that the American dream is really an American nightmare. We gotta recover from it, basically. So
I see.
I think what I was talking about earlier with like living up to the potential thing, I think something that happens is a lot of people, well-intentioned coaches, teachers, advisors, mentors, will push you and encourage you. And some of it is constructive criticism. Some of it is, it feels like pressure or whatever, but it's well-intentioned. And I think that once those systems or those things were not imposed on me, I imposed it on myself. And I'm trying to unlearn that voice in my head that tells me like, push harder, keep going. You're not doing enough. You're not making enough. You're not good if you're not number one. That whole David Goggins-ish concept of push to failure. I'm still trying to unlearn it. It's very deeply ingrained, and sometimes I think I'm done with it, and then other times I don't even realize I'm still doing it. So, it's that inner monologue that's sometimes a little self-deprecating, to push myself forward or to be better. Like I'm trying to unlearn having that thing happen.
So one of the major things that I most recently, I just want to be a little vulnerable, is unlearning, is that unlearning being in your fullness, being in your light, due to the idea that it will protect others. I'll leave it like that. That makes sense. Yeah. So dimming your light to help others feel comfortable.
One thing I had to unlearn was not to want to be accepted in the environment that I grew up in to fit in with the negativity. So I had to unlearn that in order for me to separate myself and move on to more positive things.
Oh, shit. All right. You have a second one? Okay. But brother Los, you know what though? Since you're such a powerful brother, could you take us out some kind of way? I know you can do it.
Well, again, I want to second what some of the other brothers and sisters in them said. It's just grateful to have an opportunity to be around such positive and open-minded and accepting of knowledge and those type of people. Like I said, I miss not being here for the last couple of weeks. I was a little under the weather, a lot under the weather. Grateful to be here. Thankful for all the blessings that and prayers that I got. And I just want to finish off by saying, like, don't be discouraged about going out and taking this message to someone else. Don't be discouraged. Don't be embarrassed or feel a certain kind of way if someone doesn't understand where you're coming from when you bring this message out there to them. Because this message is powerful. The messages that we get here, the energy that we get inside this place is very strong, and sometimes it can be intimidating. We've seen people come in and walk right back out. They're just not ready for it. But don't be discouraged, because at some point we weren't ready for it. You understand? So I just encourage us all to not just take this and hold it for ourselves, because we have we as Black people, or people in general, we have this thing about keeping something good to ourselves. It's almost like we want to say, "Oh, y'all don't know about that. Y'all ain't up on that." But these ideas, this feeling, these messages are to be shared. So, like I said, don't be intimidated. Don't be embarrassed. Don't let someone feel intimidated. Please pass this message, pass these feelings on, and of course, invite somebody. Whether they come in and walk back out, that's on them. But we're gonna do what we have been chosen to do. So with that, I think we gotta stand up and do our Harambes. 7 Harambes. Hands up, everybody. On the last one, let's hold it as long as we can. Ready? Harambe, 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 Harambe. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We hope to see everybody next week. Oh, and those online, sorry about that. Thank you all as well.
Mama Fluke said, everybody keep Mama and Danu in prayer for a speedy recovery.
I thought I knew for sure that I was beautiful. Black is so compiled as the whole. Black is a stain on the kitchen tile that Ajax could not remove. Black is us, young and old. Black is an old, wrinkled-faced queen sitting on the porch and rocking away her last days, thinking of her grandchildren. Black is the old lady's grandchildren yelling revolution so that their grandmother would die free. Black is misery. Black is pain. Black is marching in Alabama. and getting nothing but rifle butts on the brain, and not the freedom that you march for. Black is digging John Coltrane. John Coltrane as he blows, no, not as he blows, but as he tells you of his life, which is his people's life, which is all our lives. Blow, train, blow, listen, black people, listen, listen to train as he blows away your life, the way white people blow you away every day. Black is loving one another, black is helping your sister and brother, black is the beginning and end of white. Black is that which was first until white stole it, raped it and imitated it, but it then became the true self that got blacker and blacker and blacker and black out all whiteness. Black is the darkest night that is coming, but there will be gunshots and white screams and black screams and gunshots and black screams and white screams and gunshots and white screams and black screams and no more screams. The darkest night that will turn into the peaceful day. Black is everyone seeing the light, a light shining like a star from the east to lead us from the darkness of the west. Black is having a goal for your plight. Put more meaning into everything you do, more meaning in loving, eating, and living, and there will be more meaning in you, which means everything. Black is the velvet of the midnight sky. Black is so beautiful it makes you cry. Black is short, black is tall. Let me impress that black is all. But this is not all I had to find. I also found that black is mine.